What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Champion,
and Century.
and this is the Video Gamers podcast. Guys, we have a great episode for you guys today on April 7th, 2019. The day that we're recording this, guys, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about BioWare and Anthem once again, of course. And that conversation is probably going to transition to our next one, which is fake trailers for video games and how they're ruining the industry. And then after that, we're going to talk about Borderlands 3 being an Epic exclusive and the whole war on PC with Epic and Steam. What's going on? What can this mean for the future of PC gamers? And then we're going to talk about Nintendo VR being able to play games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Mario. So, it's pretty exciting stuff. Pretty good news. We're going to touch on everything, talk about everything, not just Nintendo this time, so that's good. So, let's start with the obvious elephant in the room.
Anthem.
Once again, makes the news like a third or fourth time in a row. Hey, you know what? If that statement of any publicity is good publicity, then you know what? Anthem's killing it.
Yeah, but it's a product. I mean, it works for people, but as a product, that doesn't work.
Okay, so basically what happened was, here's a breakdown. The man, the myth, the legend, Jason Schreier, video game journalist at Kotaku, made a huge report, took out a huge report of, I'd like to say, what was it, like 50-something pages?
Yeah, it was like 10, I don't even know, man. It was like, yeah.
It was a lot of pages of basically the whole development cycle for Anthem, and it was confirmed by 19 employees of BioWare. So this is legit. This is not like, oh, one guy or two people or three. No, this is 19 people. This happened. And it tracks the development of Anthem from beginning to end. And geez, it was one of the most craziest soap opera roller coasters I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's funny. I came out of this thinking, wow, Anthem's a great game under the circumstances that it was facing. Like, it's funny because all its critiques were like, yeah, that's basically why. Like, it's like, did the developers not test their game? Yeah, they did it. They did it. It's like, it felt like they didn't test it.
Yeah, we were the beta testers, the $60 beta testers. So.
And look, it's not the developers' fault. It's okay. It's not like the the people out here doing the groundwork.
Yeah, the developers were just they were working whatever the director would say, and they were just doing empty stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
the developers probably didn't even step in until the last year, or like the last year and a half of the game, basically the entire. So okay, so turns out, how many years was this in production again? 6?
It was 7 years in like production. It was only like 18 months of actual. The game we have now was about 18 months. Okay,
it was about 5.5 to like 6 years of pre-productions. Pre-productions is basically when you sit around and you talk about how your game's actually gonna be, because you have to sit down and build the skeleton of your video game. Okay, but you do that for maybe half a year. It doesn't take that long to figure out the concept of a game. The problem is making it. So usually that I'd imagine takes half a year to a year with normal companies, and then they spend 4 to 5 to 6 years building it. I mean, didn't Red Dead take the same amount of time?
Yeah, it was 8 years, but I mean, like I said, maybe they didn't work all those 8 years, but most of it, it's a better game.
Yeah, exactly, because they spent 4 to 5 of those years actually working. Okay, so it actually went to something. So yeah, you can see how time was mismanaged a lot especially by the people and staying up there, the directors, the producers, or whatever, anybody who had a hand in this, the top people. They messed this up. I honestly don't know what they were doing. So they basically, here's the thing, the work that developers would even do, it was basically like nothing. It was for nothing, because what was happening was that the people making the game would make, for example, Flight. They would enable Flight and then the level designers would create levels designed around flying. And then, well, it wasn't even flying like a jetpack. It was more like, I wouldn't say like a kite. Not a kite. Like, I forgot what it was called. Whatever. It was supposed to be something that you glide, a glider. You would get a glider and you would glide down. So they would have to build a lot of high peaks for you to glide off from. Correct? So the level designers would build these, like, a lot of mountains and stuff like that. These maps and stuff. But then they took flying out. After they took flying out, the level designers had to, again, remake all the levels from scratch to accommodate the fact that you're not going to fly. So why put all these hills in? Okay? And then they decided to put flight back in again, but it was more like, okay, a jetpack. So again, the level designers had to go back in and had to basically make new maps again. They had to remake maps 3 times. Okay, that's why the map size short. That's why people were complaining that, like, okay, the maps look great, but they're very short. It's because, well, guess what? They didn't have enough time to make any other maps. They spent the whole time remaking the old maps. This was all based on executive decisions. It just sounds like people weren't able to kind of get a handle on stuff. They weren't able to make a firm decision. A lot of the decision makers left BioWare. A lot of the top dog people.
Yeah.
And look, man, it was a mess. I mean, Sentry, like, what were your first, like, I don't know, reactions reading that report?
I mean, I wasn't surprised. I was like, yo, this is like a really good article from Jason Schreier. I was, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't that surprised. I was just like,
it was great.
I was like,
but
Jason Schreier put more work into this article than developers put in.
Oh, for sure. Jeez, yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I actually looked it up, correct? Let me see. But yeah, so I feel like Jason Schreier did a very good job.
I love how, like, we were seeing the game as the developers were seeing at E3 at 2017.
Oh yeah, that's a whole new level of just terrible. Okay,
like,
so I'm gonna get to that now. But let me
just, like playing it on, like, making up graphics and stuff. But yeah. This was like making up a game, essentially.
They literally, okay, look, so first of all, I wanted to name you some of, and I always said this. I think we talked about it on the podcast. I wasn't sure, Sentry. I said I'm sure that people have been leaving BioWare because their games have just not been up to par. I'm like, the people that made BioWare, they're not there anymore. That has to be it, right?
I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, this is impressive. Like, how they actually could, like, how did they create this?
Exactly, like because you're watching right now the original 2017 trailer
I don't understand.
shown.
How did they film? How did they make this? Is it like all CGI or something? Like,
I have no idea. I think they just built a basically a version of the game that didn't need to. When you're just building a game for just one scene, it doesn't. Like for like bugs and stuff like that, it doesn't matter.
A month, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you don't have to. Yeah, and you're not gonna. But I'm saying, like, it's not gonna matter because because usually the player's gonna go through one path only, so they all basically have to create one small little section of a map, and everything.
Yeah,
it's very easy to create tech demos.
We can't be like, oh, this wasn't added in the game because none of this existed, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So wait, let me name you some of the people that left. Either before the game was made or during the process of the game. And when I mean during actual production, which started late 2017 and all of 2018 and released early 2019. So again, a 7-year game. Basically, they spent a year of actual work on it. So the first person that left, the big major person that left, was Casey Hudson. Casey Hudson was known to be the video game director of a lot of games. He has a lot of games under his belt. A lot of Hall of Fame games. I mean, Baldur's Gate 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I mean, this guy, he's one of the biggest reasons that BioWare's BioWare. Left early 2018. James Olin. Well, I don't know if it was 2018. I gotta check on him because it doesn't mention when he left exactly. But these are all based off Wikipedia. James Olin He worked 22 years prior to starting his own publishing company in 2018. Doesn't say what month, but 2018 in general, basically during the process of this game. And James Olin was known to be an executive producer on a lot of good games. Or no, not executive producer, creative director. Okay? Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter Nights, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon Age Origins, Star Wars The Old Republic, Mass Effect. And it gives him credit for Anthem, but we're all pretty sure that again, a lot of these great creators got credit for Anthem, even though they left when Anthem was still very early in production. In actual production. Not fake production. The guy who, again, BioWare is known for some of the greatest video game stories ever, and one of its best writers, Drew Karpson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but again, he left in 2015, and then on March 9th, 2018, basically very early in this game's full production development, he announced that he was once again leaving BioWare to focus on independent work, and he basically didn't even describe what independent work, unlike last time, meaning that he probably just dipped. Saw what was going on. And this guy wrote the stories to, let me see, he wrote dialogue for Knights of the Old Republic, one of the lead writers on Jade Empire, working on Baldur's Gate, Mass Effect, Star Wars The Old Republic. Yeah, this guy wrote great stories and narratives, and again left during the production of this game. I think Anthem made these people leave. I think this, and obviously I'm not blaming Anthem a product for the destruction of a company, but if you think about it in a sense, it makes it makes sense. I mean, this game is the reason why they left. The management of this game. I don't know if maybe just working under EA got to them. I mean, at first I thought EA actually isn't that bad of a guy in this scenario, because they gave them 7 years.
I'm watching the E3 thing, and it's just like I'm putting myself in the mind of the developer, and like they had nothing, and they're like, we have to create this in a
year.
What?
And it was, come on. Look.
This is so messed up.
And
that they showed it, and
no,
people pre-ordered this game,
no,
thinking this is what they were getting.
Not just that. This is a part that pisses me off the most, because Jason Schreier writing this article basically saying that, okay, most of the stuff saying that the company wasted a lot of time. They, especially that branch, the main branch of BioWare, is super egotistic, and they think that they're the best and they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they always said, work hard. It's all about that BioWare magic. But like, no, it takes great people to make that magic happen. And all those great people left. And this is my main thing. BioWare responded to Jason Schreier. BioWare's response said, look, we invite people to critique your games, but we don't like people, like calling out basically people by name. Is what they mean. Like, and talking about the process. Like, there's no point in tearing the process down, or, people like that tear the process down. We don't see how that helps the video game industry. And it's like, you can't talk about what helps the video game industry or not. You are, first of all, your father company, if I'm correctly, is EA, which is probably the biggest cancer among the video game industry in the last 10 years. So why the hell did they feel entitled to say a statement like that? And now they are probably one of the biggest culprits in freaking fake trailers. I mean, this was completely fake. They had nothing. They showed us an invisible product that didn't exist, and they showed it to us, and it came out totally different. It's illegal. It should be illegal what they do. And it's like, they want to critique Jason for what's right for the video game industry? No, y'all are what's wrong with the video game industry. Y'all are a perfect poster child of what's wrong in the video game industry. You next to your daddy EA. And it's like, jeez, I just, the smugness. If I was BioWare, I would have licked my wounds. Maybe a statement saying, look, we care about the thing of our workers. I would have, you know what, if you're BioWare, you just like, We care about our workers. We're gonna, try to help out, fix the situation, and of course, we're gonna try to make Anthem as good or even better than the demo we showed you guys. Something like that. All I heard was them was trying to defend it. Like, no, don't defend it. Go out there and freaking turn Anthem into the game you promised those gamers that pre-ordered the game. Give them the game that was promised to them. Stop defending. Okay, you have to go into overload, and anything, you can't overwork your workers. You had 7 years. Okay, you could have distributed 1.5 years of work throughout those 7 years, or let's say 6. Let's say the first year you took it a plan, because video games usually, I don't think, would take more than 1 year or 2 years to plan. So let's say you had 5 freaking years. You would have distributed that 1.5 year of work between 5 years. You would have had a better game. Even if the CryEngine is hard, the CryEngine being hard sounds like another BS excuse. It's hard. Yes, but it's unfairly hard if you have to make them, if you have no time at all to make a game with. You get me?
I mean, it's sad because these I'm sure this company, BioWare had a vision. They wanted to create an incredible product. They wanted to make an incredible experience, a sci-fi experience, so the next, Star Wars, essentially. That's what every game developer dreams of. They want a game that people will love and stuff, and the consumer wants a great product.
They codenamed it
Project Dylan.
The codename was Code Dylan. Yeah, Project Dylan.
And this is how it turned out. The employees, it turned into a burnout for the employees, and the consumers got a bad product, and they were burned. They were like, come on, I paid $60 for this, and it's sad because there's people who pre-order, people who like get all hyped up. They're like, oh my god, look at this. They were looking at the E3 trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought that's what they were getting, and yeah, that's not.
It's not $10, yo. It's $60. Yeah. Most of us get paid. Most people that are buying this game make probably $9, $8, $10. Let's say you make $10 an hour. That's 6 hours of work, man. 6 hours of work that you did for what? A crappy game that literally BS'd you in all different ways. Like, it's not. That is very bad practice. In fact, I think what BioWare did is simply illegal. And the fact that they're questioning Jason Schreier for doing nothing but great journalism that everybody can agree, even BioWare can deny. Like, damn, this guy really, this guy pegged us all right. What do you mean he got names? That's what a journalist is supposed to give you names. That's what a journalist's job is to get names and attach them to stories. That is literally his job. And again, I have this sort of feeling. We can critique, when you listen to a critic or any person talk about a movie, they don't like it for a reason. Let's say they'll critique it because they didn't like the direction. They didn't like what the director did. Don't name the director. They didn't like what a certain actor did. They don't like their performance it turned in. Don't name the specific actor. Don't name the composer. They name everything. But why with video games do we have to okay, we don't like the video game, but we can't say the name of the director? What happens if I want specific games made from specific game directors? Stuff like this kind of got me looking into maybe keeping an eye closer to game development and people in the game development world, tracking what games they make and then picking my favorites. Like, yo, this guy's made, every game this guy's made has been great,
forever,
so let me just stick with him.
I do that with, what's his name? Hideo Kojima. His games are weird. And that's something that will appeal to me, on a normal basis. But I like Hideo Kojima, so that just makes a lot of sense for me. What this Death Stranding game?
No, but
it looks weird to me, and if I wouldn't have known as Hideo Kojima, I wouldn't have been interested. But since Hideo Kojima, I'm like, you know what? maybe this might be a masterpiece.
Yeah, those are
or Miyamoto.
Those are.
Come on.
Yeah, these are some of the biggest people, video game, but I'm saying even smaller people. I bet, even Western people too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's the thing. I feel like or at least Eastern countries, or at least Eastern culture, video game culture, tend to prop up their good game developers. I mean, maybe we do the same. I mean, we usually we say the names of people that just, touch our hearts, like Todd Howard and stuff like that. But I mean I feel like there's a lot of good.
I mean, look at what's this game? Fallout 76,
Yeah. So that's the thing, and still, I'd still say he's one of the most lovable Western video game directors and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I just think that we need to learn the names of these people. Okay, we need to learn, because sometimes, I'm not gonna pick on M. Night Shyamalan now, because his movies are actually getting kind of decent. But there's a point where all the movies that he did were terrible, and I wasn't gonna watch a movie if M. Night Shyamalan made it during that terrible run of like 10 years he had. So, you know what? If there's a video game director I don't want to buy a game from because I know that his products are crap, I should know that information I should be able to access that information. And there shouldn't be anything wrong with somebody in any mass media, to be able to talk about that person, or at least their work, just in the workforce. Okay, I don't think this guy brought it when it came to the music. I don't think this guy was a good game director. You're not targeting somebody. You're not offending or targeting a director if you didn't like his work. You're just critiquing it. Simple as that. If your game is made for public consumption, the people who made it, it needs to be known who made it.
Yeah.
Look, man, I just, and the hypocrisy about it, I just.
Let's move on from Anthem. I mean, the news is out there. You probably, you know what I mean?
Bad vibes. You've heard of it. It's bad vibes everywhere. But, well, this actually kind of brings it into our next topic. Fake trailers. We could talk about a little bit. Which, Anthem showed one of the fakest trailers of all time. And, well, a few of the games that have done it, I remember Ubisoft had a little problem with that during the Division and Watch Dogs. There's a big issue with those games, and I feel they cleaned up their act now a lot more. But I still feel like this is, I wouldn't say a cancer on the industry, because it doesn't happen industry wide, but I just feel like it. To me, it's sometimes I want to be honest and believe that they don't lie. Sometimes I want to believe that they took out the trade, and this is what happens when you watch a video game be released too early, or or the trailer being too early. You take out a game way too early, or you announce it way too early. You make a CGI trailer that looks crazy, and you're like, this is what we want it to look like. And then when the actual typing starts happening, you realize that's actually probably not going to be possible. So again, I feel like all these games that have had those, I want to be benefit of the doubt. They're not lying. They're not saying, hey, we have this game, let's make it look better so we can make more money when it comes out, and screw all these people. I would like to believe that it's like, oh, this is what we want the game to look like, and then we're like, well, we almost got it to look like that, but not quite like that. That, I want to be honest and think that's what happened. I don't know how you feel, Sentry, about that.
I mean, I think they should just, I think the trailer should always be how the game looks right now.
I feel like you're lying to the people if it's just
look at a game, even Mountain Blade Warband, or no, Mountain Blade, what is it, Bannerlord?
Bannerlord, yeah, the new one. I don't think too many people know about Mountain Blade. Really awesome, cool.
Well, if you see
RPG-ish.
the original trailers, there's a lot of stiff animations and stuff, but it was how the game looked at that time. I think it was it was E3 2016, and it was it was Gamescom. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm showing you right now a clip, and look at his hair. You see how it's just stiff?
Yeah, it's stiff animation. It doesn't look amazing, but you
no,
know what?
And then you look at it, 2018. Yeah, that was fixed. You know what I mean? Like, the trailers are like, they're showing what they have. Yeah, and I think that's how it should be. They should just.
Look. This is something I liked about games. About no, I was gonna say Gamescom. Gearbox, when they did the presentation of Borderlands 3, when they went over their CG trailer, there was I think one of the cycles riding an animal or something like that was in the artwork, and they said, oh, that's not in the game, that's just artwork. Like the fact that they pointed that out and said, no, this is not in the game, it's just cool artwork, was like, oh my god, like they didn't even say that. Excuse me, I edited that out. They didn't need to say that, so that was actually pretty cool that they actually went out of their way to say that. And I feel like more video game companies just have to do that, and they have to wait, because now we found out it's confirmed. It's coming out September 13th, Borderlands 3. They announced it, and it comes out like what 2, 3, or like what 4 or 5 months after they announced it.
Yeah.
4 months, I think. Yeah, so it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get it whenever.
Yeah, but guess what?
I'll
like 4 months before a game come.
Yeah,
but 4 months before a game come. Oh, because
there's a 6-month exclusivity on.
We're about to get into that. What's it called? But yeah, I think that once a game is 4 or 5 months away, it's not gonna change that much. So I think trailers are more appropriate there. Announce it there. Don't build a hype from 2 years from now. Okay, I think that's how you fix that. That's the main way you fix it. And yeah, let's move on to the next topic that Sentry touched on. Look, man, I gotta be honest. I was hearing so much about this PC Master Race stuff. I bought an expensive laptop and it's kind of fun, but honestly, hey man, I have best of both worlds, and I'm looking at the consoles a little bit more favorably, man. If you don't know the news, Borderlands 3 is an Epic exclusive for the first 6 months that it comes out in. So what that means is that the Epic Store is a store that sells video games on PC. But turns out they're not really good at their job. Like, yeah, they sell games, but they don't have any sales like Steam. And it also doesn't run nowhere near as good as Steam. And Steam just has a bunch of other features that make it, a lot better than Epic. But the games are going to strictly come out on Epic. There's a lot of games that have done that now. There's a lot of games that have signed deals like that. Like Borderlands 3. What was the other one?
Metro,
Exodus.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus, and what was the other one? The one Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
It's a game.
Forgot about that.
It's a game that me and Sentry are really.
Forgot about it. Because when I heard Epic, nice.
First of all, Borderlands. So you're not gonna get it for 6 months. This is my question.
No, if I even get it, I'll probably forget about it in 6 months. There'll probably be something else out there. So.
But I mean, you did love the trailer. You said it looked like could be possible game of the year.
I didn't say it was possible game of the year. I mean, I don't know. Depends on the characters.
I feel like you changed your tone. This is the thing. I think that people are being a little too biased about the Epic Store. Like, okay, Borderlands 3 might be one of the best games of the year. Doesn't matter if it releases on the Epic Store, if it doesn't. Okay? The truth is, if a game releases only on the Epic Store and it turns out to be one of the greatest games of all time, it's one of the greatest games of all time. Doesn't matter what store it's released on. I feel like there's a little bit of a stigma. Like, for example, Borderlands 3 is currently getting review bombed because on a bunch of places because, well, it's released on the Epic Store. And I honestly think that is very stupid. I think if you go online and negatively review a game because of the store it releases on, that is stupid and counterproductive in the video game industry. Because guess what? If they put out a good game and they get bad reviews, then other companies will be like, hey, look, let's not make good video games because people don't like that. Okay? So stop being idiots. Now, if you do want to boycott it, sure, fine, okay, I understand it. But don't go out there and do that. Because no, ratings are not for that. Reviews are not for that. Reviews are for people that played it. So, first of all, that's stupid. Second, it's a question I wanted to ask you, Sentry, and a lot of people are confused by it. What is so bad about the Epic Store? Again, I've heard that it's a lot buggy, and I understand the people that are boycotting it, but just explain to us from an outsider's perspective, what's the difference between Epic and Steam?
Well, Steam isn't crap, and Epic is. I mean, but the reason, Epic looks into. First of all, Epic reads your data. They admitted it. They do it with Steam. They read your Steam data. That way they know like what games you play and stuff on Steam. And that's like hidden in the the EUL whatever the terms and conditions and stuff. It's very laggy. Hurts your like CPU. It chugs on your CPU because it's always running. When it's running in the background, it's doing a bunch of like background like crap, which probably like the only thing it could possibly be doing is like siphoning through your data. Because there's nothing. I'm not using it, and it slows down my computer. So every time on startup, I just exit out of it. I just close it down. And I mean, even the store is like messed up. Like,
now here's a question.
For the longest time, you couldn't search for a game. And they
Quick question.
That. And then they even said like we're not gonna work on it. You know why? Because they said yeah we can't compete with Steam. Well, whatever that president of Epic said that. He said we're not really trying to compete with Steam. So yeah, that basically said that yeah we gave up. We know we can't compete with Steam when it comes to like their store. So we're just gonna get exclusive games and you have to come to us. You know, but if you build it, they will come. If you build a good, like I mean, come on, just build a good like, improve your launcher. You know.
But do you think it's smart to punish all these games that come out on it? I mean, the thing is, because I feel like Metro Exodus and like you just said. Borderlands 3 and Outer Worlds were two games we were looking forward to a lot, and after you found out they were
games before.
Okay, so you're saying just because they're Epic exclusives, it negatively changes
I'm
your
not
opinion of the game?
That's simple.
But what about console though?
I don't really care. Like I have a PS4, but if I don't play exclusives on it, I'm not really like I got Sekiro because I'm game sharing with you, and I know you want to play it. Probably. If not, I would have just got it on PC. And
but I just feel like I mean, like for example, we would both probably want to play Borderlands 3.
To me,
and
though,
probably Outer Worlds.
Like I want to play Borderlands on my PC. I was gonna get it on PC, but I'm not gonna get it anymore. So.
But I'm just saying, like. The fact that it releases on another store changes, like basically I'm going to completely ignore this game because it released in a store that I didn't like for 6 months. I mean, what's wrong with waiting for 6 months for extra months for a game to come out? I mean, who knows? Maybe they improved it by then.
I mean, okay, but like I said, I'll probably forget in 6 months. That's what I'm saying. There'll probably be another game announced that comes out 2 months later, like Cyberpunk. Like, why would I pay $60 for Borderlands 3? You know, I can play. You know what I mean? Like, you forget it. Like, this is how the market is now. It's very saturated. And these games, you know, most people, like, the majority of people don't, like, finish even, you know, you didn't finish Sekiro. You know what I mean? Like, most people.
I didn't.
It's like, it's the newest, hottest thing. That's how it is now. You know,
But, wouldn't you agree that if Epic keeps on buying games, PC Master Race will die? That statement will never be uttered again. Because if they just keep buying out good exclusives, what? Is PC people just gonna get delayed games every by 6 months, a year? Like, these aren't, 1 week exclusive. It's not 1 week, it's 6 months to a year. I think Outer Worlds, right? Might be a year?
Outer Worlds? Yeah, I don't know.
But still, these aren't easy numbers. So you're telling me that you're still the PC Master Race when all these great exclusive, because they're not even picking like titles that they're picking big titles that gamers want to play. Like, Epic Games is smart. They're picking out the right titles that gamers want to play. So I'm like, if they keep picking out these good titles to be exclusive on there for 6 months to a year, is PC really the Master Race anymore? Because it just sounds more like a hassle.
You're talking about an arbitrary thing. I don't want to argue because kind of doesn't really.
or do you feel the public or the public perception of PC Master Race? Do you feel like that's changed? Like it's no longer the superior console anymore?
It is
Because
a superior
I mean, here's a
machine.
well,
it will always
be
the superior
of course,
machine.
Of course, but
And
I'm
if
saying
you can put, it's always a superior machine to play games.
But
exactly, I just answered your question.
I can.
There's no but.
No, but what? No. What is a good machine if it can't play any games because you don't want to play any games because they're all out on Epic?
I mean, you can still play them.
6 months later. So
You
you're
can play it
literally
on
telling
Epic.
me, and like you.
I mean, I'm not saying like the game still plays and runs. I just don't like Epic, so I'm not gonna buy it. That's just the.
But everybody doesn't like Epic. Nobody likes Epic. So I'm like, the people that say PC Master
But the
Race
game is there.
are the ones that hate Epic.
I mean, like, what if you don't like the PlayStation Store? So now you're just gonna buy physical games. The same thing.
But it's different. There's no competition. It's a PlayStation Store and that's it. Now here you have multiple options and you have to download multiple things. To play EA games, you have to download the EA one. The Ubisoft one has no. But now you have Epic.
Yeah, I mean, Epic.
My thing is,
has 15%. You know.
Do you think that Epic is slowly
is this
ruining the PC?
An Epic Store?
With the Epic game? Look, man. I mean, do you think that?
No, this is mods. Just to mod.
Do you think that they are ruining the whole PC community? To me, it's splitting them.
The more you compete, I think it's better.
Yeah, I think Steam needs competition. Even though Steam,
Epic isn't trying. They're just buying games and making it exclusive on a crappy platform. So it's like, why? You're not competing. You know?
Because it's not regulated. On PC, it's not regulated, so you can do that. On consoles, it is. It's a console. You're only gonna buy it from the store, the online store that the maker of the console has made. You have to. It's regulated. PC isn't regulated. You can release whatever you want whenever you want. And nobody owns, like no seller owns it, like completely. Like anybody can sell it.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's like I'm saying, like when you release a game, I'm saying like, Steam, you want to get it on as many platforms on PC as possible to sell as many copies. So obviously there's no regulation to who you're gonna sell it to and stuff like that. Like there's no regulation on which company you're gonna pick. Like you're
selling guns. I mean.
No, but I'm saying, but look, now somebody like Epic can come and do that.
Sell guns?
What happens if they keep? No, I'm saying, what if Epic now keeps on buying titles and buying titles and buying titles? There's nothing you can do, but there's nothing you can do about it. Eventually, every good game that comes out, it's gonna be an extra 6 months for PC people, and it's like,
dude, if
like by the time
Bannerlord comes out on Epic, oh my god, I think
I'll
riot.
I will sell my good laptop and buy a crappy laptop to just simply record games, and not play them. Just record them because no, you can't mess with my feelings like that.
I was like, wait, but yeah, it's not a console game. It's only PC, so you have to play it on Epic.
No, I won't play it.
You know what? I'm telling you, I've been following Bannerlord since I think.
Me too.
From years now.
I probably would play it, but
now I'm thinking about it. You know what? I'll probably buy it. That's because I followed it for years. I feel like I'm part of the family. Like if there was a Kickstarter, I would have kickstarted it, but they haven't. They didn't do that.
But like, here's the thing: for all you processors, just think about it. By the time you get your hands on Borderlands 3, everybody's finished it. Everybody's moved on to the next thing.
That's what I mean. But it depends because look, this is a topic that I think is a good video topic. And we're moving away from the what we had written in the plan, but it's fine. Okay, I feel like the market, a lot of people, they treat games now like how it's with clothing and movies and stuff, where they just move on to the next thing. It's always the hottest thing, whereas like
people
forget like, oh, that game's old. But if a game is fun, it's fun forever. Like I'm playing games on my 3DS, playing DS games. Game Boy. I was playing an SNES game for like almost an entire game the other day.
Games that are designed properly tend to last long. I mean, there's some games
if a game is fun, it's fun forever.
I feel like sometimes games that are maybe not designed as well, but for some reason turn out to be hits, tend to age bad. But I just feel like if the design is there
like
for the core concept of the game,
the original Mario on the NES, right? You'll be fine with it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 nowadays.
Play it. That's the point. Don't give it an arbitrary. Don't give it. I mean, how can you even quantify your enjoyment?
Exactly. You have to quantify because back then, when it came out, it was revolutionary. But nowadays, it's like, it's okay. It's a cute game. But I get you. I get you.
I'm saying, like, I don't really care. Look, a lot of the games I still play games that came out years ago, and like Sekiro, I'm probably not gonna finish.
I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for a gamer to do this. Here's the thing, because this PC Epic War thing does not affect you if you're a gamer that's in tune, which, like, instead of being a gamer that's like, I gotta play the newest stuff, I gotta be on the newest stuff. I mean, we do it because we want to talk about it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even then,
okay?
like, I don't know, like, it just seems like I feel like we should talk about it on the podcast, but I think we should like make videos where like on games that we're playing now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we're putting more time into an actual like trying to finish and concentrate on. I feel like to be a cool like in-tune gamer, you have to basically just look for stuff that you like. Look around, old games, new games. Don't put limits on yourself.
Look,
that game's old.
For the NES, SNES, like the Game Boy was my generation. That's when it, like, not the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance was my generation. Mm-hmm. Like when I was born, that's what was out, and then the PS2 came out as well. They like, so when I played SNES games, I'm playing you know what I mean? I'm going back, and these games are still fun. I'm going like, and I'm also playing like DS games I never played, 3D. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. A game is fun, a fun game. A game that was fun back then, still fun today.
Yeah, look, to me, a good gamer. Well, I'm not gonna say what a good gamer is. At the end of the day, it's what you think. But I think, in my opinion, what a good gamer is a gamer that values the core concepts of being a gamer. It's about picking up a game and having fun.
That's honestly.
Doesn't matter if it's
Here's the thing. Scientifically and psychologically proven that if you measure something, you will enjoy it less. And that's the truth. In anything, if you work out, you're measuring how much calories, how many this, how many that I burned, you're gonna enjoy if I watch out less. And if you're playing a game and you're like being super critical about things that you gotta. Here's the thing, Miyamoto, one of his quotes was, an adult is just a child, or no, an adult is just a child pretending he's an adult. That's what, or acting like an adult. And basically, like, he's saying, like, a game, you should always see it in the perspective of like a kid. And you're like, when I was 10. But I really cared, about like these little design flaws or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain or trying to express what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, I'll play it, but I just don't like the Epic Store. I don't.
Yeah, and again, I don't think the Epic Store should be a problem if you're a gamer like more like Sentry. I mean, I'm a little like that. I've been trying to be more like that.
I'm trying to get you, yeah. Example, the reason I got you that 2DS, because if you can play, the Virtual Console, and there's these these hidden gems that you can never play. Like, you're not gonna get an NES and pay $300 for Chrono Trigger. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I've been playing like some old Pokemon games, and I kind of got some nostalgia trick, and now I'm playing some more Pokemon games. And after this, I want to play some Fire Emblem, and I want to play it at my pace,
and that's
slowly.
what I think that's a healthier. Like, here's the thing: Dragon Quest. I never played a Dragon Quest game in my life, and the only thing what got me into it was a Tim Rogers video, essentially, a review.
Yeah.
He works for Kotaku, by the way. He's like my favorite video game journalist / persona. I don't know, like his view on the games is, I love it.
Look,
and his review on Dragon Quest 11, he said, I'm not the best and worst person to review this game, but he was saying that in like a critical way because, dude, now I haven't played Dragon Quest 11 because I've been waiting. I was waiting for like the Switch version. I wanted the definitive edition because they had a lot of content. Yeah, and I'm waiting for it for that to release. But dude, I played like almost. I already played like. I played Dragon Quest 4. I'm playing 5 right now. I played 8. Am I playing it? I'm almost done. So yeah. I mean these. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
and here's the thing.
These games.
And we're not.
That you can just go back to. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No, and here's the thing. We're not saying, oh, don't buy new video games. Just play. Oh, yeah, we could just get old video games. Like it shouldn't be like. I'm not saying it's like that. I'm saying like if you truly have excitement for a game. For example, I've been an Elder Scrolls fan for a long time. I've loved Morrowind. I loved Skyrim. Freaking 2 of my favorite games of all freaking time. Of course, when the next one comes out, I'm going to buy it. I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm so excited for it. And here's the thing, it's a new game, yes, but look, I have multiple reasons why I want to buy it, and mostly because the last few Elder Scrolls games ticked so many boxes and made me feel so fun and put
like
me into
Skyrim
that
has
world
so many flaws. But oh my god, it's one of the like that's a game that I will remember that experience forever.
Yeah, so of course I'm going to buy Elder Scrolls 6, and what I'm trying to say is don't buy a new game because it's new.
You know, like I think Sekiro is a well-designed game, and I love when it works. Like when you're fighting, and you're like blocking and dodging and stuff. Dude, it feels like I'm watching like a choreographed fight. You know what I mean? Like a
yeah. And look,
but to be honest, it's like I know I'm not gonna finish it. It's not because it's too hard. It's just like I don't know. It's that's the thing what I'm like trying to emphasize. Where it's like I think if we make videos, it should be like on like game concepts and like game concepts, and also like just videos on like games we're playing right now. Yeah,
I mean, and that's the thing. Like when you're reviewing
games, you have to try
I went
a lot off a tangent, but yeah, it's essentially. I think I answered that question. Would I play it 6 months after? Yeah, I mean that's nothing to me.
And that's what I'm saying. You have to be a gamer that's like that. That's very in tune. That's very willing to say, you know what, I'll play it whenever I can play it if it looks fun to me. That's it, man. At the end of the day, it looks fun. Here's the thing, and that's right what you said about comparing always makes things worse. It's true or measuring things because, okay, look, I just saw an amazing movie. It's probably the best movie of the year.
I said that because yesterday I was just cleaning around my room, and I was just playing, Dragon Quest, and in my mind I was like, how do we really quantify like enjoyment? Like. I don't want to get like yo dude, like what if like the stars like I don't want to be that guy, but I'm saying like can we really truthfully quantify like enjoyment? I don't want to be too like like I'm saying I don't want to sound too weird. It's just
honestly look, here's the thing, at the end of the day it's like what are you trying to accomplish with this game? Are you trying to go through an experience? Are you trying to get sucked into the environment? Are you trying to have fun? Some people
there's different types of fun.
Yeah, like some people like being immersed, scared.
Some people's version of fun is like, oh wow, everything looks so like next gen, like realistic, Battlefield 2, and then Battlefield 2 or Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, probably be their best game they've ever played because it looks incredible. You know what I mean? And of course, we can give it like a 6 or a 5 or a 7, but you know what I mean? Like you should always
and you have to be able to
that every reviewer is biased, and you also have to like. I think going back to
their job is being biased.
When you go going back to like older games that came out years ago, I love that because it gives me a new perspective. Because now I'm like,
and here's the thing,
a lot of stuff that's being done today with games, I'm just like, yo, it's been done before.
The best reviewers are the ones that basically, in a weird way, tell you, hey,
I had fun with it. Yeah.
What? No. The best reviewers are the ones that sometimes secretly tell you like, hey, my review maybe isn't the best to watch, because they'll say, I'm not a specific fan of this genre, so I don't know how to compare. They'll say that multiple times throughout the video. I'm not a fan of this genre, so I don't know how good this is or how bad this is compared to other. They'll say that a lot.
Here's
what they're trying to say is
he gave Octopath Traveler, I think, like a 1 out of 5. But he said it before. I hate anime. I hate RPGs.
Yeah.
And I hate turn-based combat. So if you know that about a reviewer, then you're just like, okay. I knew it. Like, I saw the video, but I was 100% sure. I knew he wasn't gonna like it. And now if he says he likes it, like he said, I hate anime, I hate RPGs, and I hate turn-based, but I love Persona 5. That's when you know, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Persona 5 is incredible then.
It's different.
If this guy liked it.
It's different. No, it's different. It's different. It might be more high, because it might have toward a few mechanics and stuff like that kind of help them ease into the experience, instead of like a hardcore a JRPG. You get me? Look, I think it's that. Yeah, everybody's biased, and the best reviewers will tell you this doesn't generally match what I'm into, but I'll break down the mechanics for you. And that's what they tell you, because they're like, I don't know too much about this. Honestly, the best reviewers for a game are the channels that are dedicated to those video game series. For example, I hate IGN's reviews on Madden, but when you watch people that play Madden that do like seasons or franchise mode, and I watch a lot of those because I'm into football, I'm into also basketball, so I watch a lot of NBA 2K, like team modes or whatever it's called, when you're trying to build a team.
2K19, I would say, okay, 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 10. But
no, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing.
And that's because you like sport games.
No,
you know what I mean? It's
no, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. An IGN reviewer will review the game on basically like surface value. They have never played another basketball game before. They've never played another 2K or NBA Live or Madden or football or I think it was NFL 2K or something like that. They've never played none of that. They played this football game because they had to review it, and they went and wrote down what they liked and wrote down the good parts and like what they thought was good. But then, like, I've seen reviews of like Madden 18 or Madden 19. Then I'll watch reviews of those same games on channels that specifically put out Madden content, and they are a lot more like, I want to say negative, because, well, I wouldn't say negative. I'd say more, they give a lot better reviews, because they tell you exactly what was changed from game to game and how good that is, how bad that is, and they always do better reviews than the channels that try to not like concentrate on everything, because they're the ones that have played it the most. Okay, and again, this is why IGN isn't the best review, because they never say, "Oh, we're not football experts," and they'll never say that. I think a good reviewer should be like, "Look, I don't know anything about football, this or that, but this is what my experience was playing Madden," or something like that. I just feel like that's the thing with reviewers, like, but I don't know. Yeah, we got on a tangent.
Yeah, a little philosophical, but I think that was good. There's some good.
Yeah, we drove the point home. Okay, boom. Next thing. Well, quick topic. I don't think we're gonna go too much time into it. Look, Nintendo Labo VR. Basically, they announced that they're gonna be the Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey are both gonna be supported on the VR thing. Now, my question is, essentially, isn't that like kind of easy to do, since like you're basically holding the game up to your face?
Oh my, yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Nintendo, they're always doing their own thing. And
That's a
yeah,
that's
it
a
looks
double-edged
ugly.
sword.
How it works, it's very like, look up the image of how Nintendo expects you to play Breath of the Wild. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I saw it. It looks uncomfortable. I can't hold that for 5 minutes. It looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like I feel like it'll be disorientating, and yeah, it's just so many.
Look, again, to me, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm weird. I don't know if I'm the minority. I was more excited when they announced the community thing over this, because I feel with the community thing, there's a lot more possibilities. I feel like with this, it's like, okay, that's cool. I already played Zelda, and you know, I like to finish it on the console, not on my face. Look, I just feel like Nintendo needs to. First of all, why couldn't they just buy cheap? Like, or why couldn't they make just plastic ones? It's not that expensive. Plastic and cardboard, like, come on. Really? They had to make it out of cardboard? And why couldn't it have a strap? I wanted to have a strap. And with the controls, it should actually lend itself to the controls, because the controls are like, you know, touchscreen. Or like, what? Not touchscreen. They have motion pads on them. Like you can use them. If you've watched like Skyrim, how to play Skyrim on the Switch, you can play it like with using like the controls, like what's it called, the Wii Chuck controllers, like that. They're motion controls. They have motion controls in them. So it's like, why couldn't you just have them on your hands and have like the Switch, you know, sitting on your eye by itself with a strap? Like, oh my god, I just feel like,
You know, I still might get it. It's only $40, and I'm interested. It piqued my interest, and I think that's enough for me.
Look, I gotta wait till a third-party developer does it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, they just make a strap. That's all I want.
A strap. I mean, honestly,
it makes no sense. Why would I
prefer a
play
plastic
it standing up?
Yeah,
or like, because you have to move around, right? It's a VR, so I don't know, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's gonna get my arm tired. No, I don't want to hold my arm for half an hour or for an hour or 2 hours. Like, what the hell? Because you have to worry about your eyes hurting while you do that. Now you have to worry about your arms hurting too. Like, it's like I'm gonna finish playing video games for an hour. My eyes are gonna hurt. My arms are gonna hurt. It just sounds like a bad experience, man. Nintendo, I really love the community idea. I love that you're supporting games on it, even though it kind of seems like, okay, you can just put whatever game you want very easily, because it doesn't seem that much of a challenge if you're just basically saying the only difference is you're stuffing it on your face, the Switch. So let's see how that is. Anything else you'd like to add, Sanji?
No. Nothing too much.
It was a good podcast. Great podcast. We discussed basically everything. When is EA again?
What?
EA? I'm not EA. E3.
No.
EA.
Just,
nobody wants to know where EA is.
When is EA? Where? I'll do you one better. Where is EA? Yeah, it's like...
Where? They're definitely not in BioWare's offices. I know that.
When is it? E3?
They definitely weren't there for a long time. In June. Well, we're waiting. We're waiting. And also, I mean, am I crazy? We should be getting a Nintendo Direct, maybe a bigger one soon. Am I crazy?
Yeah,
this month?
I heard that. Yeah, they're gonna do one, and that's probably where they're gonna announce Persona.
Animal Crossing.
No, what? Chill. Oh. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. But no, Persona 5S. So, I mean, that's cool. I hope they it's gonna be
You think they'll announce the big and small Switch or no?
I don't know, man, because they said maybe this year. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel like I don't feel like it's gonna be as big as February, but I feel like it's still gonna be big. It's gonna have February. 1 or 2. Oh
yeah.
You think so? February was huge.
Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah. Wait, no, when they didn't announce Pokemon was his own thing.
Well, it released like a few days afterwards, so I mean, if you want to count it, but I mean, February was big. You sure?
I heard that it's gonna be big, because Persona is gonna be there.
That's what I said. Like, I think it's gonna be big, just not as big as February, because February was huge. I mean, they announced some big hitters. Well, let's see. Let's hope for it. Well, guys, this has been Century. No, I said Century. Oh my God, I call myself Century. How dare I? How dare I? This has been Champion
And Century.
and Century. There, we didn't get our names confused. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a like and sub. Also, if you guys have any comments, if you guys hate my voice or hate Century's voice, let us know down in the comments what we can do to improve our content. Guys, it's been a great day, a great podcast. Hope you guys have a safe day and week. Have a good one.
See ya.